Thank you for your time and for coming on today.
Yeah.
Um, what got you to want to make the film Room of 12878?
Mm, mm, that literally was a hard question, but yeah. Um, I think I inspired of what happened to me in my hometown. Because that was kind of like a sensitive topic if you realize it was about suicide. And I realized not just about I mean in my hometown, um, the suicide case kind of increased compared to the past years. And also I think people around me always think commit suicide is a way that they think that they relieve, if that make any sense. And I really want to kind of like do a piece or do a work that especially like inspired by Buddhism, especially my hometown, because in Buddhism, we people believe that commit suicide is not good. Like people shouldn't do that, and if they do that, they kind of repeat what they choose to do in kind of like in another world, if that make any sense. And I think it's kind of like it's about Buddhist, and I think it inspired me to do this project. Also, I think I want to do a piece that kind of want maybe like others know that literally commit suicide is not a way to believe. You might just keep in a time loop that you need to do this every day. So yeah, this is I really want to kind of like make it more like in a positive way, if that make any sense, that people doesn't think that suicide um is a good thing and they can relieve. And then if they do, if they watch this film and they realize, oh my god, literally suicide is not a choice that I can relieve, so they may change their mind. This is what I'm thinking. And yeah, this is what made me do this piece. Yeah.
Do you find your way communicating through movement?
Yeah, I am like a dance performance student when I'm doing my degree, and I introduce kind of in a dance theme mainly, and I choose to do scream dance in my master degree. I'm more interested in the movement itself, and sometimes I think it's really hard for me, especially um, as a second language speaker. I find that it's really hard to express my feeling, and especially in my hometown, something that we don't talk about, or we will be judged to talk it through language. And I really want to use movement, so that for me, kind of movement is like a tool for me to express my perspective or my feelings. But I want to do something that people understand, so I kind of using some dialogue or test so that people do understand what is the story about. But mainly I focus on movement, more like narrative movement, so people can see kind of like emotion through the movement, and they do get the story about like what is the story through the movement, but not just words. Yeah.
And I haven't watched a whole lot of foreign films until I got into the festival, and I had never seen a movie be told through narrative movement, and I thought that was really unique and interesting because it was a way to tell a story that I'd never seen told before. I imagine because the movie was narrative movement driven more so than dialogue, that there's things about the movie that were more difficult. Were there other things more difficult about the making of the movie?
I think yes, because literally before, my first choice is I want to use a dancer to do this film, because I'm mainly choreography for dancer. But I realized that's something that drama-based performer can express more through expression. If you can, especially in the film, that it's hard to allow other people to understand through just movement, but more like expression through their facial expression, or even they got emotion when they speak. And I find really hard to work with drama-based performer, because I think it's so new for me that I work with a drama performer. And also I think composer, because I work with my composer that I kind of like, because the whole movie I got music track in the background, and I work with the composer about how the music change, how should the music change so the audience understand kind of the change of the emotion that happened the whole way, like from joyful to stressful, that kind of sense, or even tensive. Yeah, I think that's really hard. Yeah.
And the narrative movement, I had to watch it a few times because I never seen a story told that way before, but it's kind of really interesting because I was looking into it and a lot of people were talking about how you can tell how something's going to go through the narrative movement if you pay attention to the movement. Like, for an example, when you've done something bad, you can tell that your parents are upset with you by the way they're down the stairs or whatever. And I just thought that that was really cool and inspiring that you chose it that way.
Mm.
What are you the most proud of about your film?
I can't say proud of, but I enjoy the how it ends, because literally I am really stressful when I'm doing this fingers. I always, when I am creating, especially this dance fingers, I prepare for 3 months. I have a moment that I think that is not good, or I think that I'm stressed, and I don't think this can be even shown to others. And but I'm proud of that. I go through that. Like, I trust myself, I trust my performer, I trust my composer, and then asking people, giving me feedback, and I kind of reflect on it. And I think I'm really proud of I choose to continue to do it instead of give up, because there's a time that I think that, oh, I may just do other thing, this is not my thing, because I shouldn't do more like a drama based scream dance where it's not for me. And I kind of give it a try and just do it kind of good, because I just do it and I just added the theme, and literally it comes better than I thought. And I think this is what I'm really proud of myself. Yeah.
That's awesome. You had mentioned earlier that you had gone to school in London. What's London like?
That was literally, I'm not like I can't say I'm not a music person, but I think that before I'm thinking of doing like a silence theme, but I think working with a composer might work really well, because I always think that especially in dance, music can tell more about the story. And I think the experience with working like the score of the theme is really new, because I'm really new to the, like, I don't know the terminology um like music scores. So first, when I communicate with my composer, who is like my secondary school friend, and then I literally have no idea what is it. And when she say the terminology, I'm like, what is it? And I don't really got it. And I just kind of just give her example just by la 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 la, something like that, just express it myself, like how I want it to be. And we need so long to just, she just realized what I want to do. I find it really hard, because I have no idea of music score. And when I first communicate with my composer, I just express myself and we have a try. And then we just keep working and keep talking with each other for like a month. And at the end, she kind of understand what I want, because I'm kind of give her some example, or I tell her what I want, especially in the emotional session, like happy or intense or angry, all the thing. And she understand me, and she give me like different demo to choose, and I'm like, yeah, this is what I want. And I think it was kind of a good experience, that how I work with my composer, and I learned a lot from that. Yeah.
Felt like in the film you had the narrative movement and the music complementing each other a lot. Was that hard to do that? Have have the movement in a way where it's complementing the music and the music's complementing the movement?
Yeah, I think it was hard because sometimes you don't want the music to be like kind of um like overdo it, if that make any sense. Like you don't want the music just being too much and the movement does not match the music. This is what I afraid of, especially for the first demo. The music is too dramatic in the beginning. So it was, I think it need a kind of like in a film, you need a climax. And in the film, like in the first demo, the music is already so like really dramatic in the beginning. And I want to avoid that because I want kind of like it got timeless and it go down kind of thing. And I don't want the music to be overact like so I kind of like before for the first demo it got like a violin in the music in the very beginning, but I communicate with my composer, maybe we change the instrument or cut it down. So she designed and give me suggestion that she change it with like a piano so it won't overact the whole thing. And then I give her my first card. Literally, we work as a silence first, just my theme with the action, the sound of the action for the non-digestic sound in the beginning. Um, and then she work with it, and then we talk about it and decide what we want to keep and what we want to cut. And then finally my final film is my 20-second cut, like my 20-second cut. And I make the music, I make the movement match the music and communicate more like better compared to my first cut. Yeah.
Before you started like cutting the movie and editing it, what was the original length of the film?
You mean the storyline or what was
The
the
story.
I literally have a storyboard when I'm doing
Okay.
before I literally film it because literally I have rehearsal and I literally book a hotel to experiment it. And it was really interesting that my final cut is absolutely different from my storyboard. And I'm like, and I have a point that I'm like, oh my God, I need to follow my storyboard. I just need to keep going, just keep keep it like that. Don't change it. And there is a moment that there is a point, especially the repetition. There's a moment that the performer wake up every day, and my first time when I do it, my purpose is like I need a long take. So there is a session that I doesn't want any cut between it. So it was a long take. I can't make any cut. I just want to make it continuously. But I think but when I cut it, it's too long. And that is kind of like a technical issue that there's a moment that it gone a bit blurry and you knew that you love that part, but you just need to give up sometimes that you realize that it's no good. And I commit like and I tell myself, no, 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 it's really good. I should just keep it. But everyone beside me told no, no, that was not a good scene. You just need to cut it. And I'm like, no, no. And I have an argument with myself. I'm like, no, I really wanna, but no, I need to cut it. And I'm like, yeah, I just need to keep what I want to do in the first place. And but it is not good. But I still want to keep it. And I'm kind of like having a meltdown about that. But when I try to edit it, I'm like, yeah, I just need to give up. That's what I do. I want to make make the final cut um better because I think even when I do it, even for the final cut, I still got things that I need to improve that I never think that my project is perfect at all. I think I can keep improve, but how I can improve in my next project, but I learn from it. So I learn what I need to give up and I need to just change it because it was so different compared to my first original like cut that literally is my storyboard and everyone told me that it doesn't work. And I'm kind of like stubborn and bossy person. So I'm like, you need to learn from me. I'm like, you learn to listen. And I literally tell myself I need to listen and stop being stubborn. Just move on and try it out. And it end up, yeah, literally looks good. Just give up the long take. That's literally works better even. So I'm like, yeah. So I learned to listen to others and not being stubborn. Yeah.
It's no easy task getting a film made. How did you stay motivated when it got more and more challenging through the process?
I think it's just never give yourself a break, if that make it any sense. Like, I don't know, what's a moment that I'm like, yeah, I got my ideas, and but I'm like, maybe it doesn't work. I judge myself. I'm like, no, maybe just change my topic, just change my, yeah, my perspective, or just change the other um genre, just change it. And I'm kind of like, and I keep changing it even when I'm in my first month doing my research and everything. But I end up doing my, my first idea, and I think that I just need to keep do it, not don't just think it, just do it. Because when I put myself in a rehearsal with the performer, I'll be so productive. Even something doesn't work, I think just keep trying. So there's, and wait, just wait, because there is a moment that you will have a click in your brain, in your mind, that yeah, it works. And I always think that it, my film come like it finished itself. It feels a bit weird when I say that, but I think it come by itself because I try it, and I think it just happened. And I think just keep doing it, even you think that it doesn't work, just keep doing it, and then you will find a way to sort out the problem, and then yeah, that will change. Yeah.
Similarly to the way you tell the story, do you often find yourself communicating to people through narrative movement?
How you feel when you're happy, or when you feel angry, or when you feel stressful, because I really want audience to understand the narrative movement. So literally the movement got emotion, or it tells the story. And I think that I can't finish, I can't do it if I doesn't have my performer in the theme. Because when I first do it, I basically think how it look. Does it look good? um is it a dance movement? Because I always kind of like, I love dance movement, but if it was not necessary, I think I need to take it out. So I'm kind of like, I don't want to just, do this in my body, but I want kind of like a drama based person to um experience it. So I have a third eye, kind of myself as a third eye. I can see how it looks like, and as an audience, do I got what it's about, like through the narrative movement, I think. And yeah.
Do you believe that through your movement, it's a reflection of your soul? I know some people believe that. I was just
Oh, that was that was
curious.
I remember when I first, I don't know, it just because when I first showed this to my friends, because I'm doing my course, and I show my kind of like my supervisor and my fellow, um they they respect, I think the culture. But I think it's like, I think in a way that I think it's kind of a bit sensitive to talk about it in the first place, because I realize it's a bit judgy. And I am like, I don't know, I have literally a friend that from the same culture from my home. She literally like, why she take drugs? And I'm like, no, the point is not about the drugs, it's about commit suicide, but she doesn't get it, and some people doesn't believe it. And I understand people doesn't believe that in Buddhist education, or they believe about where people go after they die, or even after they commit suicide, where they will go. Not everyone believe it, but for myself, I do believe it. And and I won't kind of like, and I knew that many people around me doesn't believe it, because I asked them, I literally asked them, do you believe it? They are like, no, 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 I don't. And I'm like, yeah. And but I believe that if someone, I don't I don't like, I don't expect people believe it, but I'm kind of just want to do this piece just to kind of like maybe give a chance for people to think about it if they have a moment, because literally I have a friend that really close to me, um and and she inspired me in a way that I think some people don't act, but they, you understand if they are in, they got a mental health problem, and they think that they are not, they are not needed in a way, but I and they think that um commit suicide is kind of like a chance for them to leave this space, like to leave the world so they are happier. But I'm kind of just want to change people's mind by giving them a chance to see that literally commit suicide is not a choice. You might not, it might be not real, people might not believe it, but it might be real, so people can have another thought about it. So I'm kind of like, um I don't think everyone just like believe it, but at least I think, at least I believe it in a moment, because I'm not kind of person that I believe in the first place. But I think when I kind of do research, I think it got a possibility that might be true. So it kind of inspired me to do a piece that about that. Yeah.
I was kind of curious, do you find American films weird because they're different than your culture?
No, I think I'm really open in a way that I'm not sure is it because um I mean, in the first place, when I first did not, because I do watch different films when I was young, but um I think in the very beginning, I do find it weird in a way that I remember not just America, even in UK, because I choose to study in UK when I'm doing my GCSE. I find it weird, and I and I know that I have mentioned it before. I'm really stubborn, and I'm really traditional before, and I'm thinking, no, I don't accept new thing. But I think when I move to Europe for a few years, I accept art itself. I think I learned from it like a lot, and I think it just changed my point of view. And I'm like, and especially in America, or I think in the theme in Europe, I think it is not just a theme. I think it got a statement or a story that really happened around the world, or it was it was happening in the world. It was kind of like, I think sometimes art sometimes is political in a way, I would say that, or art is something that it was like a tool to kind of like, um it allowed us to create something that really happened in the world, but use another way to show it. I love themes itself, especially. I think I watch a lot of American themes, and yeah, I do like it. And my favorite series is American Horror Story. Yeah, but it was weird in the way when I first watched. I'm like, nah, nah. But now I'm like, yeah, we keep rewatching. I'm like, yes, I love this. This is what I need. This is what I want. Yeah, love it. I love to see something like that. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of American films are just starting to get lazy. I feel like and maybe I'm watching the wrong ones, but I just feel like everyone cares about money, and that's what was so refreshing about like your story was you were telling it because you felt like it needed to be tell, and you told it through a unique and different way I never seen before. When you were in school, did you learn your subjects through dancing and movement, like literature?
Mm, I do, because I think when I'm doing my, especially I have choose to do dance in my A level, literally speed tag, in my GCSE and in my level 3, which is A level. Um and I think I kind of introduce in mainly contemporary dance, but when I go to uni in Chichester in London, in UK. Um, I have I learned to create like create dance movement. Yes, and I think it kind of like introduced me kind of like I always think that choreography is a tool to express my feeling because I'm a kind of like an emotional person. I always want to express myself through movement, but I'm not really good at express myself through words. And I think that it was like a tool for me just to express myself. And then I have been, and I think it's mainly in in the pandemic. I kind of knew that dance theme is a way is another choice to kind of share your word, not just in live, like on stage. It can actually share around the world. So I find it really amazing that I can um, introduce others about my story. Even it was in the US, it was like 13 hours ahead. I think is it? No, I think it's my hometown is 30 hours ahead yours. Yes, and I think this is what I find it kind of like magical that people can share ideas and I watch others theme around the world and I think I have been inspired so much through themes or kind of like a dance theme. Yes, and I find it and I think for me I love to do themes like or scream dance if that makes any sense. Like I think it was kind of like a way for me to share my thoughts, not just in my home, but in the other culture or city. Yeah.
Do you feel like learning school subjects through narrative movement was beneficial to you and should be to with other people as well?
Mm, I think so. I think it do benefit me because I think sometimes I think it's kind of like acting is really important in movement because acting through movement sometimes is um not just about how it look like how beauty the movement look like but how people can see it and I think that sometimes especially when I think when the word is too sensitive sometimes I think that is really too hard for me to express it in a good way and I think using a narrative movement to allow me to kind of just express my feeling in a comfort way that I doesn't feel being judged and I think it do benefit me, especially I'm not really a good speaker. I'm not really good at communicate with um others. Like I'm not good at express myself. And then I find it really struggle even when I like no one understand me through my words. It's so funny. I don't know why. Even sometimes my parents doesn't understand me, but people understand me more by my action or my movement, like my gestural movement. So I think that when I have been introduced in narrative movement, I think it did benefit me more because I can avoid talking. I can just show you with my body without talking. Yes.
What was the hardest movement in the film to capture?
I think it's the intensive movement. If you understand, like the repetition of, kind of like it got a duvet and the performer keep repeated. And I think it's really hard to capture because when I capture it, sometimes it was out of the frame. And I need to know what is the distance between the like where is the camera position. I find really hard, and I have a lot of take, so I get it right and without too blurry, if that make any sense. And it was really hard, especially when my performer doing really quick it I just need to capture them kind of the how it looks like is this movement can I capture this movement and can the audience understand it. I find it really hard because I really want the movement to happen gradually so I find that it was really hard to capture that from slow to quick like the yeah the change of the movement and yeah I have kind of a lot of take in that yeah.
Through dancing, you're taught to respect your bodies. Do people in the arts of dancing look down at you, or if you smoked a cigarette, drank a beer, got piercing, tattoo. Since so many religions today consider that disrespectful, what are your thoughts?
Um, not, I think sometimes we have been taught what is right or wrong, even in the creative world, which I doesn't like. Even now, when I'm creating a piece, will tell me that what is wrong, like what they think that is not good to show in a piece. Even they think that your leg is open too wide, it is not good to show they think that art should be educating um others, but I think that people do um I don't know. I think that I have, especially this year, I have been stay in my hometown for a year, and I have been working as a choreographer, and there's a moment that I have been told what I should do or what I shouldn't do, especially when I'm creating a piece. So especially if I want especially if I do a dance film, not a dance film, a film that I want someone kind of like smoking in the film or taking drugs in the film, people just think that it's no good, and then people will judge that you shouldn't do that. Especially you are an artist, you might show the film to so many people, so you should educate people what is right or wrong. So what you're doing is bad or what you're doing is not good. And I think that I don't really like the atmosphere, if that make any sense, like, or if I answer the question. And I think for me that it was kind of hard when I am doing, even when I'm doing this piece, people think when I'm looking, especially in the company that I am doing now, I want to find a dancer, performer, and they think that what I'm doing is too intense or too sensitive to talk about, and then yeah, and I hate, even yesterday I've been told that what I'm doing is wrong, or people will say that um some of my work is weird, even though I don't think it's weird. They think that um I'm not sure it's about the culture, but I believe it is. Because it, I can't say I can't say I can't do everything, but I mean I can't do everything I want. But yeah, if that make any sense or answer your question, yeah.
Well, I think that that's very courageous and admirable because I feel like a lot of the greatest directors, filmmakers, when they were first starting out, people thought that they were weird. Like, I imagine Alfred Hitchcock, I'm sure whenever he did his first piece, someone thought it was weird. So, I mean, props for you for continuing to do what you're doing.
Mm.
What was your favorite memory in the process of making this film?
I think is I don't know. I think that was when I'm making this film. I think that was the first time for me to literally like stay overnight to finish it. Like we finished up four, I think 3 or 4 in the morning just to finish the piece. And oh my god, my performance are stressful, and I'm like, yes, keep this emotion, a take moment that I want. That was the moment that I want. You look stressful. You look intense. This is what I need. Because there's a point that when I film it, I'm like, no, you look too clean. Because you're not stressful enough. You look like, yeah, you have to do good makeup. You have to shower. You have to do good makeup. No, now it was like 3 in the morning. You look stressful. Your hair was a bit, a bit like crispy, a bit like, yeah. And I really want to capture that, and I literally stay like 1 or 2 more hours just to capture that moment. And I think this is my like I know that the performer hate me so much. She's like, I just feel good. I hate it. I am so stressful. You asked me to say stay up until 3 and I need to sleep. And she need to wake up 8 in the morning because I need her. Literally halfway, I'm like, no, now I want you wake up in 8 in the morning just to have a shot that you finish shower. So morning I asked her to finish her like do a shower, wash your hair, do a good makeup so you look clean, so you look happy. And even though she's not too happy because I asked her wake up like she wake up really early to just to prepare, and I need her kind of like I think that was so like memorable. Even that we both hate it, and there's a time that we said we doesn't want to see each other for a month, and we doesn't want to go to back to that hotel for a month because it's just too stressful. Because I just need to kind of capture her real look. And when I first show her the first cut or my footage, she hated so much. And but we are kind of really peaceful that we doesn't have argument. But I'm just want the theme to look real, so that I need to capture her really real. And then yeah, and I think that was so memorable. And I literally want to make the atmosphere more like fun. So literally I create a I create a dance movement through the tripod and yeah, let's move it. Even though she's a bit like, okay, stop it, just finish the piece. I'm like, no, we need to have fun. And she's like, no, that was like 3 in the morning. So just yeah, just stop it. And I think that was so memorable that I think I just love it. I love how it goes. Yeah, that was and I really want to try again in my other piece just to stay overnight to see what that like how yeah like another memorable moment. Yeah.
In the process of or that night, did you ever go to bed? Because you were up till 5 at least. You said because you're up for another 2 hours. Then you had to do a shoot at 8. Did you ever go to bed?
I don't know, literally, my performer, like, because I say that because I book a hotel and I literally use the hotel really well because I don't want to waste the time to get to sleep. No, because I book a hotel room, I pay it, and my budget, I can't book another night. It's out of my budget. So I'm kind of like, I need to work as much as I can. So I literally book a hotel, keep working, and have a dinner, and we go out for dinner and then we come back and I think like 4-ish my performer like I go to bed and I kind of like cleaning up the mess and then like I just sleep for like 2 hours and I literally wake up not even having a breakfast. I'm like, let's do it. So let's do it. So that I know that people say that you need to treat your performer well or treat your crew well. I mean I do. I do fit them well. I need to say that people think that I'm kind of like bully them. No, I give them food. I like having a early breakfast, but I don't because I know that once I sit down, I would just chill. I would just keep talking, and we just have because we need to check out too in the afternoon. So I need to keep it going. I need to do the setup, and when my performer finish her breakfast, we start. And I remember the other thing that it was so because after filming that I'm kind of going to the garden in the hotel that I literally want to take some pictures. I literally got a mistake. Literally, I fell out. Like I fell off, not like a stairs, but I kind of fell off. And I did not broke my lens, but I because I put a UV protector in front of my lens, so it broken. And there's a moment I melted. I think that my lens was damaged because I just bought it for a month. But no, it was not. It was just a UV lens. So I'm like, yes, I'm so glad. And I'm like, yeah, I just changed my UV lens, and I think it was kind of yeah that day I'm just really tired. I'm like knackered, and it was my birthday, and I need to use my birthday just to finish the piece. But yeah, I love it, and I think that was my best birthday present ever. Yeah, it's a good experience. Yeah.
Awesome. Is there anything you would like to say or talk about that I didn't ask?
Um, I have answered all the question, but I think what I want to say nearly the end is like I'm kind of really, I think that was really a good experience, especially when I literally go to freeway. When I before I want like when I submit this film, I literally hesitate. Like I'm like, should I submit it? Like maybe the film is not a good film. I don't know. There's always a moment that I'm a bit emotional and a bit judging myself, and I'm like, oh, will people how the judger will they think that oh my piece is crap, and then oh my god, is that literally a good film, or oh my god, do people like it, or I will think, oh, it might doesn't go well, or people will think that, oh, what this girl is doing, or because I think being a female director is so hard for me. Um, Especially when I first go buy my camera. I think that was literally that kind of um like not stuck, but because when I buy my camera in like last summer, because I know that I'm doing my scream dance course, and I literally go to buy my camera, and then I mean the guy who sell the camera say, "Oh, are you looking for a camera?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to make a film." And he's like, "You making a film? You're a female. How can you even hold a camera?" I'm like, "Oh, oh my God, I'm a bit anxious." I'm like, and he's like, "Maybe you doesn't need a camera. You just need a camera that is light or it got effect on it, so you look beautiful." If that make any sense, some camera got effect or kind of like a filter in the camera. And he's saying, maybe you're just doing a vlog, right? You doesn't need a big camera. I don't think you can carry gimbal. You are too small, because I'm literally just 5'8". I just about 5'8", and then people just like, you're too short, you look a bit weak. How can a female? And he told me that, why not you just don't do it? Like, just get a light camera, film it. You doesn't need a big camera. You are not a guy. I don't think you can even buy gimbal. Don't waste your money to buy gimbal or even a camera. I don't think you can even hold it. And I say I'm literally doing a like a screen dance course which is theme based. It's like, oh, you doing this, I can't believe that. It's just unbelievable. And I feel being so like offense, and I'm like, there's a moment I literally asked my parents, should I do theme? Like people were so like have a stereotype of like especially like a female filmmaker or director. I don't know why they think that I can't even hold a camera, even I'm short. And I am so glad that my parents or um, like everyone around me support me, saying just don't listen to them, just do what you want. No one knows, because um people is just, they I think is people just have a misunderstand, or I think it's the stereotype that people think that even in my home, they think that women um is weak. Women can't drive, women can't do what, women need to do what. And I think I'm not sure it's just about the culture. I think everywhere got that. They think that female is a bit, people not don't accept. I can't say that. It's just people doesn't think that women is strong in a way that
Right.
people have this like perspective of what women are, if that make any sense, like what women should do, like what subject they should do. They think that men is smarter than women. And I think, but yeah, I just kind of want to prove that he's wrong. So I'm kind of like, yes, I need to do a theme. I will submit it. I need to prove that people wrong, that I can hold a camera that is not too heavy. I am strong. I bought some like kind of equipment to carry, so that it allowed me to hold it, not just the gimbal itself. I can kind of carry it like so that it's not too heavy. And I always think that there's way to sort out question. It's not my gender. Yeah.
Power to you. I'm glad that you're able to prove that guy wrong. And it's sad that people still believe in those stereotypes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that literally was quite sad. But I think we like, because in my course, like we are all female. So I'm kind of like who is doing like a theme subject, and I think that it's good that we doesn't just listen and change what we are passionate about. We just do it, and I'm so glad that I got so many support from others. And I'm really happy when I receive the email from you guys like, oh, it have been accepted. Literally, I was like, I am screaming, I am like shouting, I'm like, oh my god. It just entered the selection, and at the end it was we got like winner, and I'm like, oh my god, literally that was, I don't know, literally I can't sleep. Like that was, I don't know how that feel. I think that was the happiest I have, especially last year this time. People said that you can't be a filmmaker because you're female, and now you kind of being selected, and you're like, it just feels like unbelievable. It was just like hilarious. I'm like, I even myself, I can't, I literally like, I kind of like, I don't believe it. I'm kind of like asking others with my email, is that true? No, that was not true. No, my film, no, it was wrong. No, no, no. But everyone told me, no, you're not dreaming. It was real. Yes, and I'm literally like, it was so magical, like how that feel, and I'm like, I'm so happy, and I'm glad that I have clicked the submit button.
Right.
Yeah, and thank you, you guys, so much, and it was really good experience, and yeah, yeah.
You had talked a little bit earlier about a film you were wanting to do, a silent film. What is it going to be about?
You mean silence? Earlier when I talked about silence theme,
Yeah,
or
when
you
you were talking
my
about silence theme for a
um
future project.
um I do literally my future project, and I want to do something like that humor. I want to do something more like reality and like humanity. And I think science theme, I really, because I literally want to make it like a different unit, if that make any sense, like about humanity, but develop into different story. It can be love, friendship, all the thing into different unit, into like a short theme. And I think sometimes silence is really effective. Like being silent is so strong sometimes, and I think people can read more through the theme itself without, especially sometimes I think um it's sensitive for me to put sounds on it, and people can read from even their mouth, if that make any sense, like, but without hear the words. And I think that it can be it was kind of like, I think that um I won't be told off, if that make any sense. Like I think it will be, I just kind of thinking that maybe in a good way that I want to express myself without people hear it, and the people will focus the silence, like the theme itself without any silence. And I think the tension will be stronger, and the themes in the story will be kind of stand out a bit more. And yeah, and the next project I'm thinking of dark humor, because I always want to do dark humor, and I want to kind of like step out of my comfort zone just to do things that I feel comfortable, and I want to kind of challenge myself and take risk, like do something that people ask me not to do, or um but I want to do it just because I think especially this year affect me a lot about more like humanity in a way that, yeah.
Where can people go to learn more about you and stay updated with your projects? And
Yeah, I literally it's my Instagram. I literally mainly update all my things in my Instagram account. What is upcoming, not just my not just dance film, but sometimes maybe like live choreography or live photography. So
well, thank you so much for your time today, and I really enjoyed talking to you. And I look forward to seeing what else you have in the future.
thank you.